So before we proceed on explaining how to trace a whorl, first is we must know what is a whorl. A whorl is a type of print pattern that consists of one or more friction ridges, making a complete circuit and two deltas. So we are going to be explaining how to trace or what is whorl tracing. Tracing refers to the position of the deltas in a whorl relative to each other. So a tracing can either be an inner or I, outer or O, meeting or M. So this is what you will keep on mind in whorl tracing. One is trace from left delta to a point opposite to the right delta. Second is trace from the farthest left delta to a point opposite the farthest right delta when there are more deltas present. 3. Drop down at ending ridges. Follow the lower fork of bifurcation. Stop at the point opposite the right delta and the ridges between that point and the delta. Fifth is if there are 3 or more ridges inside the right delta, the tracing is an I or inner. Sixth is if there are 3 or more ridges outside the right delta, the tracing is an outer or O. 7. If there are 1 or 2 ridges either inside or outside the right delta, or if the tracing stops on the right delta itself, the tracing is an M or meeting. 8. It is not necessary to count more than 3 ridges.
So, in this example, we can see that this is a plain whorl. Now notice that the red line, both ending is a 2 deltas. Now, in order for us to know if is this an M or meeting or I or inner or O or outer, we will trace the left delta to right delta. So since the left delta stops, the rule is you should go down one ridge and then you trace it to the other side of a delta. So since the delta meets at the right side, this is a plain whorl with a meeting trace. So now, in the next example, this is also a plain whorl. Now, the delta from the left to the right are in the ends of that red line. Now, if we are going to trace this, since the delta in the left stops, so just like the first one, we should go down one ridge. As we trace, we can see that there is a bifurcation. So the rules is the lower part is what you will be following if there is a bifurcation. So this example is a plain whorl that is an outer, because there are 3 ridges before you can go to the right delta.